friends, what's up? Welcome back to another monthly reset. What's wild is that this is probably our last monthly reset that we'll be doing together for the end of the year, because the next reset that we'll be doing together will be the 2023 annual reset. Like what? Where did the year go? If you're new here, my name is Selena. I do these monthly resets that were inspired by my friend Carter, where I pretty much go through my monthly goals, my budget, and plan for the next month. I also usually incorporate a third segment, which is my monthly favorites or something different. And today I think I'm going to incorporate my wish list for this holiday season, because it's kind of similar to my monthly favorites, but it's things that I haven't necessarily bought yet. We will talk about that later in this video. I hope that you all enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because it really helps support my channel. But with all that said, let's get into the monthly reset. Coffee, so let's get into it. First of all, I thought it would be fun to get into the monthly budget. This budget spreadsheet was inspired by Bucola here on YouTube. I'll make sure to link that in the description. But I am currently working on a completely different monthly reset spreadsheet with a budget tracker, an annual dashboard. It's going to be very different, new and improved for next year. And I hope to finish that in December so I can share it with you all in the new year. And I am planning, fingers crossed, to have it up and for sale on my website by the end of December or beginning of January. So keep an eye out for that. First, we're gonna take a look at my monthly budget for December. Okay, so for income, my full-time job, I got about $4,000 this month because of overtime. That's like my take-home pay. And then for YouTube AdSense, I earned about $1,500. So my monthly income that I'm working with this month is $5,500, which is good because the holidays are expensive. For additional retirement, I put $500, but really I'm not gonna add anything because last month I added $1,000 to this new Roth IRA that I opened. So I don't need to add additional funds. Plus, I've said this in other videos, but my retirement fund through the federal government, because I work for the federal government, is already automatically taken out of my salary. So this take-home pay is after I've already allotted like 12% into my retirement fund. So keep that in mind. That's the only reason I'm not allotting that into my budget this month. Long-term savings goals. This month I'm not gonna add any money to house and cars or investing. These are like the savings pods that I've been trying to save up for. I have put my savings kind of on hold, or I've at least changed how I'm saving, because in the last monthly reset I pretty much told you guys that my student loans were going to be forgiven, but as you all probably know, that's up in the air. And so that would suck if they don't get forgiven, because that would be really helpful and that would allow me to actually work towards my other goals, like buying a house and a car and investing. But for the time being, as that's up in the air, I'm not going to save up for those things. I'm just gonna save all my money in a high yield savings account, which, by the way, if you don't have a high yield savings account, I really recommend it. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not telling you what to do, but just from a friend, you know, from my experience, I have opened a cash account with Wealthfront, and currently I think the rate is 3.3%. So literally, as my money is sitting there, it's just increasing by 3.3% every single month. So I'm putting all of my savings into that account. Again, just sharing my experience, I guess. My emergency fund is already at 10,000, which you can see here. So my savings looks like zero, but just know it's because I've already kind of hit my savings goals, slash the new car and the housing savings goals are kind of on pause. I created a third section for student loan sinking fund, because that's now where I'm putting the money that I was going to allocate towards car and savings that I've been saving this entire year. But luckily I haven't spent it, so now that means that I have 9,000 saved, and I'm just going to continue to save until we figure out what happens with student loans. If student loans are not forgiven, then I will probably have the entire amount saved up by next June, which is when the forbearance was extended to, and then I'll just pay off my student loans and start from zero, saving up for my other goals. But if student loans are forgiven, then I'll only have $1,000 to pay off the rest of my loans, and I'll be debt-free. Regardless, by the end of next year, my goal is to be debt-free. Now, I'll either be debt-free and I'll also have money saved up for a car or a house, or I'll just be debt-free. But either way, it's gonna be it's gonna be good. Okay, so that's my spiel. That's my update for my savings. So going into fixed expenses, so my rent is $18.10. Utilities is about, next month is probably just gonna be like, who knows, $50 or like maybe $70 because I'll be in Oregon most of December. So I'm gonna have everything disconnected from all the outlets, have my AC off and everything. So utilities should be pretty low. Home renter's insurance doesn't change. All of these don't change. Let me see. My fitness app, I actually have canceled that to save money. So now my fixed expenses are much lower, about 37% of my take-home pay this month. And the goal is to keep it at 50% or below. So we're doing pretty good. Now looking at flexible expenses. So this is where it's gonna get real. So December is where I tend to spend a lot more money, obviously on gifts and also being at home. I like to invite family or friends out to eat or have coffee and I'll pay for them. And I don't want to have any like guilt or any shame around that. That's just who I am. So, you know, you might have a different stance on how you budget around the holidays, but this is how I do it. I kind of created like a holiday budget separate from my normal budget because I do have some extra money in savings as a cushion that I've made from like brand deals. I don't really go into my YouTube income on here. My goal is truly to stay under like $1,000 for holiday shopping. It might not because I do also want to buy my mom a couch because my family was renovating this past year and it was really expensive on them and they still have, you know, things to pay off, and they bought one couch but they have another couch that doesn't match and it's a lot older, and so I'm hoping that they'll be able to sell it or get rid of it. And then if they do and if everything works out, then I'll be able to chip in to buy my mom a new couch because that would be really cool. So that's kind of up in the air, and if that does happen, then this would probably increase to maybe like $2,000. I know that's a lot, but it's within my monthly budget this month, so that's good. So that's for holiday shopping, which I will show you guys my holiday tracker in a second. And then for shopping, this is more so like Black Friday shopping or just going out with family or friends to the mall when I'm in Oregon. I might do some shopping. I'll probably set that to $300 because this is probably the only time of the year where I actually buy myself stuff, like whether it be new running shoes or whatever is on sale and I might need. So $300 for that. Groceries will probably be a lot lower because I'll be at home. So a lot of the food I'll be eating will be at my parents' house. So I'm gonna say $250 for December. Coffee will probably be higher. I'm gonna say $100. Fun with friends. It's gonna be so cold, so I don't tend to see my friends. Well, when I do see my friends, we don't tend to do like a whole lot because it's freezing outside. Self-care, I'm gonna do my own nails at home. I'm not gonna get my hair done this year because the holiday shopping expenses are gonna be pretty high. So I'm just gonna save this and not spend any money on myself for getting my hair or nails done. I'm not gonna do any of that. So I'm just gonna leave that at $0. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna spend money on that. I'm probably not gonna have any date nights because it's gonna be a month mainly focused on my family since it's the only time I see them, but I will definitely be eating out. So I'll probably say like $400. I'll probably surpass that. Okay, so the majority of my money this month is definitely going into my flexible expenses. I knew that going into this. That's why I also have been just saving up a lot of the money that I have. So I'm feeling pretty good with my savings that I feel comfortable spending a little bit extra this month, and then going into the new year, I'll be able to save up more money and also finally work on doing like a no spend week or a no spend month even, so that I can kind of save up money and be a little bit more frugal later on. But I'm gonna enjoy my month in December. So this is my holiday budget. Again, it's like an outline. This is an ideal budget. I really just wanted to have something to map out everyone's gifts or the number of gifts that I want to get. And also this helped me to create kind of like a shopping list. I filmed myself going and shopping and more details about my holiday budget in another video, so I'm not gonna get into that. But really quickly, I'm gonna go in and type out the things that I've bought so that I can show you guys the budget versus actual. I literally have all of the gifts right here in a bag, and also here I have all of the gift cards that I bought. So I'm gonna tally up the full cost of this. that I've spent so far. It's probably gonna take me a minute. So after going in and adding all of the gifts and purchases that I already made, it looks like this is my running total. So currently, as it stands, because there's still a few gifts that I'll have to buy when I'm in Oregon, and also I'm waiting to see if the whole couch situation is gonna happen. So things are kind of tentative, but as it stands, I've spent $697 on gifts and also holiday miscellaneous things. One of the things being this really cool tea advent calendar. I have tea pretty much every single night and I love it, and I thought this would be so fun because every day counting down to Christmas I'm gonna get to try a different type of tea. Since I usually stick with the same 3 options of teas, I'm excited to venture out. This was only $20. I already added it as a holiday expense, and I'm just really curious to see how much I'm going to spend this holiday season. That's more so why I made this, and then hopefully this will help me prepare better for next year's holiday season. I'm going to go into mint.com. That is where I track my monthly expenses, weekly expenses, all of my expenses. So I'm gonna pull that up real quick and then we'll see what I spent in the month of November. We are now on the expenses portion of my budget. Today is November 28th, so this is a pretty accurate look at how much I spent this month, since the month is pretty much over and I don't see myself making any big purchases. You guys know this is in preparation for the holiday season. Black Friday just happened. I had to get my Cyber Monday deals, so keep all of that in mind while we take a look at this. Oh my gosh, what? How is that even possible? There is no way I spent $9,000 this month. Okay, it seems like I found the issue. For some reason, transfers were logging as expenses, but I fixed it. So now any money that I transfer from my checkings to my savings is not being tracked as an expense. So apparently that was happening. Glad I caught that by the end of the year. So now looking at what I spent this month after fixing that, it looks a lot more reasonable and a lot more in line with previous months. So see, this is just a great example of why looking at your expenses and tracking where your money goes is really helpful and really important. So my monthly expenses for November total up to $3,600. A big chunk of that was in shopping. Keep in mind, like, Costco's on here. Here's the Gymshark. I spent $100 on myself during the Black Friday sale, which is the only time of the year that I will buy from Gymshark. I'm excited because I got some Whitney Simmons stuff, but I'll show you guys that in future vlogs. But as you can see, there's Costco on here several times, which most of that was for food, for Friendsgiving, for Thanksgiving. I only really paid half of that because my boyfriend and I split groceries in half since he eats here pretty much every single day. So my total expenses for groceries is probably half of what you see here. I just don't really care enough to go in and type out every single transaction because I know that it's not this high. I just look at this to kind of keep track of all of my expenses. But besides that, I did spend a lot more money this month on shopping. As you can see, Target, TJ Maxx. I bought gifts, I got gift cards, so it totally makes sense. I also bought my plane ticket to Oregon, so there's the second biggest category is travel. I'm not surprised. The third biggest one is health and fitness. Oh yeah, so I think I'm gonna be doing this. It's the Smile Direct Club. So I did have braces when I was younger, and then I lost my retainer recently, and I just noticed that my teeth started to shift a little bit. So I wanted to try out Smile Direct Club because they're just like a lot more affordable than Invisalign or getting braces again, and I don't think that the correction that I need is critical enough for me to have to go to an orthodontist and get braces, because it's more so like cosmetic, if that makes sense. So you might be seeing that in future monthly resets. We'll see if I continue to do it. This $2.94 for Topgolf, by the way, I did pay for it, but everyone Venmo'd me their parts because it was like a date night type of thing, and it was too complicated for the poor guy at the register to split the transaction. So this category is also skewed, as in I didn't spend $544 on health and fitness. Food and dining usually is a lot higher than this actually, so pat on the back to me for that. I guess I didn't eat out as often, slash my boyfriend also sometimes buys the food for both of us. So as you can see, there's like Grubhub here, $42. If anything is more than $15 or $18, then it's probably food for both me and my boyfriend. So sometimes I'll buy it and sometimes he'll buy it. So depending on that, my expenses like for food will be very different. And those are pretty much the biggest expenses this month. Now I'm gonna export this to CSV like I always do, and then save it to my spreadsheet so that I can keep all of my monthly expenses and categories saved in one space. So I'm gonna copy that over. Yes, perfect, okay. Okay, cool. So as you can see, so this is how I kind of keep track of the trends of my spending. It's so easy because I can just export it from mint.com itself, and then I can kind of keep track of, you know, how much do I spend on average every month. Again, April was a lot higher because of taxes. And then I tend to spend anywhere from $3,500 to $5,500, depending on the month, whether I'm traveling, etc., etc. So this month looks like it is in line with previous months. I need to clean this up, but I think at the end of the year, once I'm doing the whole overview, I'll make sure that everything is filled in. But that is it for the monthly budget. Hopefully this was helpful to you all. I know I love watching other people's monthly budgets and budget with me videos, and I know that you all have been requesting that I share or create a template, which is what I mentioned earlier. I have been working on like a budget template that I hope to release in the new year, and then I'll also be working on a separate goal tracker spreadsheet, habit tracker spreadsheets to keep track of goals and intentions for the year as well. And so I've told you all before, you can 100% make this on your own, but because I'm putting in hours of effort and planning and compiling this template, I am going to be putting it up for sale whenever I do complete that. And so you can choose to use my template, or you can always make your own, which I have always encouraged. But I know that some of you would love to support me, or would also just like the convenience of having it done for you, which I totally understand, and that is why I'm making the template. So anyway, that is all for this section. Let's get into the monthly goals. So let's get into my monthly goals. First, let's take a look at what goals I was able to achieve in November, and then we can set the December goals. So if you're new here, I have this goal tracker spreadsheet that I use, and at the top in green, I have the 3 main things that I wanted to focus on in 2022, which was health and wellness, personal and professional development, as well as my financial goals. And so every month I break that down into my monthly intentions, which are the intentions that I've set for November. So for health and wellness, I wanted to wake up before 9 a.m., which I did. I would say I did like 9 out of 10 times. I haven't been seeing a therapist consistently. That's gonna stay here for the next month as well. Walk 7,500 steps. So in November, I walked 6,800 steps. So I didn't technically meet that on average. I did run a 5K race though, which is really exciting. I ran my first 5K since 2019 on November 5th, and that was really fun. I actually vlogged that, so if you haven't seen that running vlog, then make sure to check that out. And then for personal and professional, my goal was to post 2 videos every week and have around 4 brand collabs a month, which for November, I did not meet that. And I did set a goal to hit 57,000 subscribers, but I believe we're at 53,000. And this is why I've mentioned in previous monthly resets that I don't know how I feel about setting like subscriber goals. I rather just celebrate milestones, because I have no control over who sees my videos, who the algorithm like pushes my videos out to, and who chooses to subscribe. So that's why I've always said it's more of like an intention, but never something that I feel, I guess, bad about if I don't meet it. So I think I might stop incorporating subscriber goals and instead just incorporate like milestones. Like this month I hit this many, you know? I think I'm gonna do that because it really doesn't make any sense to set a goal for something that I truly don't have control over. What I do have control over is what I post, how often I post, responding to your comments, reminding you all to like and subscribe, because all of those help me and my channel and our community grow. So I'm just gonna make goals on things that I actually have control over. Anyway, that's my spiel about that. I also wanted to read a Bible verse every morning, which, like I've said before, I have the app that shows me a new Bible verse every day. So I've been reading that. I did not read a book for this last month. Hold me to it. I'm taking 2 weeks off of work for Christmas. I'm gonna work on my spreadsheets to have that done for you all. I'm gonna spend time with family, and then I am going to read a book, okay? Gotta finish the year out strong. And then financial goals. I already went into the whole spiel of my student loans. I have been doing this since day one, saving up money ever since the loans were on pause. And then it all depends on whether or not those loans are forgiven, how that money will be used. But regardless, by the end 2023, even maybe the middle of 2023, my loans will be paid off. So I feel confident about that. Eating 70% of my meals at home. I definitely have been eating at home a lot more. As you guys saw, I haven't spent as much money on Grubhub, and I would say that I buy Grubhub more often than my boyfriend does. I've definitely been eating at home most meals. And then saving $1,000 for Christmas gifts. I definitely did. I have more than $1,000 that I have as a buffer saved in case I need more money for the holiday season. So feeling pretty good about that. Okay, as you can see, I have like my little book reading tracker where I'm keeping track of what books I read. So I read 7 books this year, and these 3 books are books that I've been kind of thinking about reading, and so I really want to read these by the end of the year, or maybe I'll have to move them to next year, whatever. But this month I want to start It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I've just heard really great things about it, and I really think I will like Ugly Love too, because I heard it's like, I don't know, it's kind of dark, I've heard, which those types of stories tend to reel me in. I'll have to look up if there's any like trigger warnings, which I recommend if you're ever going to start a new book, and if it seems like there might be something dark or maybe possibly triggering for you in the book, definitely look up trigger warnings, because a lot of authors don't incorporate that into the book itself, but there are websites, I believe, where you can find that information. And then I've also been keeping track of my average step counts. So my goal for December is to meet 7,500 steps. Now let's switch up my intentions for December. Waking up before 9 a.m. still a goal. I'm not gonna set this goal to see a therapist consistently, but I do want to work out 3 days per week. I want to get 7,500 steps on average still, and then I want to run at least 2 runs per week. And then for professional and personal goals, I do want to post 2 videos per week. I'm not really gonna set any brand collab goals, because I really I don't need to have brand collabs each month, because I do have my 9-to-5 job and that's my main income. So I'm grateful that I get collaborations and to work with brands that I love. I'm not gonna set a goal for how many brands I want to work with, because I like having the freedom of just saying no to a brand if it's maybe not a good fit or not a good match at that time. 2 videos per week, hitting, again, gonna take this off because I don't think that that's a goal I have control over, but let's see, what's another personal goal? Oh yeah, next month I want to finish the monthly reset spreadsheet, and I want to read 1 book, which would be It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And then for the last month, obviously I'm not gonna pay off all my student loans because that's on hold, but I do want to, I'm just gonna make a goal to keep track of everything I spend. I'm not gonna do the eating out goal because I'm gonna be home and it's the holiday season. It's the holiday season. Now what-de-do. Is that how the song goes? I don't know. Anyway, it's the holiday season, so I think I'm gonna be eating out a lot more. So I think that's gonna be my only financial goal for this month. Actually, another one would be no impulse buying, which is really hard in the holiday season, so we'll see. So that is it for the monthly goals, and now let's get into the fun part, which is my holiday wish list. let's get into it. So I just want to say that I don't think the holidays are all about gifts. If anything, I really enjoy giving gifts and spending time with family, and I do believe that the true meaning of Christmas is Jesus, and Jesus is the reason for the season, all of the things. Just want to put that little disclaimer out there because I know for myself that like shopping and gifts and the idea of like the Christmas spirit, we can get caught up in it very easily, and I just want to make it clear that for me, I do hold a lot of value on the actual holiday that goes far beyond giving gifts. But I will say that I do love and enjoy partaking in that as well because it's just a lot of fun and it brings a lot of joy to people when we give each other gifts. Anyway, disclaimer aside, okay, so the first thing on my holiday wish list is this really cute wool pea coat. I don't necessarily have a brand that I need it from, but I just really want a tan colored, neutral colored, long pea coat that I can wear and be warm, and it would look nice with clothes if I'm dressing up, because I feel like all the jackets that I've ever had have been like rain jackets or just puffer jackets, which don't get me wrong, I love them. But I haven't owned a pea coat that fits my body and looks cute and that I can wear on top of clothes that I'm dressing up on and it still looks like I'm dressed up. So I really want to get one of those. I found one on Amazon which was pretty nice and it has a hood, but I'm still on the lookout. So if you have any recommendations for a really cute pea coat that they have extended sizing in, because I tend to wear 2X and a lot of these places that I was looking at, they don't even have a size larger than a large, which is wild. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. The second thing on my wish list is a new pair of running shoes. I just can't get enough running shoes. I would either want some new Sauconys or Hoka. I love my Hokas. I could buy a new pair of running shoes every 6 months, but I don't usually buy them very often because you only need to buy them as often as you're actually running in them. I have the Arahis right now that I really love. I bought them because they were on sale, but honestly, I would buy them again. The next thing on my wish list is Ilia's Super Serum Skin Tint with SPF 40. I wear this thing every day. Any day that you see me with any kind of makeup or like looking put together, I'm wearing this Super Serum Skin Tint. It's amazing. It's hydrating, makes your skin look flawless. It's so lightweight, like I don't even feel it on. I don't feel like I'm wearing any makeup at all. Love it. I want to buy a new one. I need to get a replacement. Another thing on my wish list, I want to buy more Brahmis. I absolutely love Classy Network. I started buying from them this past year and they just keep coming out with amazing new releases. Like I love their bodysuits. I love all of their shirts, honestly, because they're so comfy. I love that they already have the bras installed, so it just makes it so easy to just slip on an outfit. You don't have to worry about what bra would go with this type of neckline or whatever. I don't know if y'all struggle with that. I struggle with that and it's really annoying, so I really enjoy the shirts. I found this U-shaped long sleeve Brahmi suit, which I actually already ordered for myself because Black Friday they were having a sale and I couldn't say no, so I got it. It's on my wish list, but I already purchased it, added to cart. Another thing I really want to buy, and every single year I want to buy a new pair of cute booties, and here I am, still bootyless. Like I have no booties, even though I always have this on my wish list, because I don't know, I'm someone who, I don't know, even though I do spend money, as y'all can see from my expenses, I could spend a lot more in the sense that there's a lot of things that I want but I end up never getting. I guess I save money being indecisive and not purchasing things impulsively, but at the same time I'm missing out because there's a lot of outfits the booties would just complete the look, but I haven't gone out and bought that, so hopefully this year, fingers crossed. Another thing is the Dior Addict Lip Tint. I'm currently wearing one right now. I haven't had to reapply. I just put chapstick on. Like I put on the lip tint once and then my lips have color the whole day. Sometimes I'll reapply just because I like to keep it a little bit darker throughout the day, so I might do that, but I don't really need to. I love lip tints. I don't know why I just recently started using them like this year, but I really recommend, and I want to get this one in different colors. I'm currently wearing the rosewood one, but I want to get the dusty rose one because it looks a lot more nude, and I just think it would look so cute and I would wear it all the time. I also really want to try the Rare Beauty cream blush. I tried their contour stick and it's so creamy. It just blends in so well. The problem is I don't really contour like ever, so I kind of use it as a bronzer. Like I'll just add a little bit of color, but 9 out of 10 times if I'm wearing any makeup, it's just tinted moisturizer, blush, and mascara. I don't even use the contour stick very much, and it's not because I didn't love how it looks. It looks amazing. I don't know, I just feel like I don't always need it. So I want to try the blush because blush is something that I think I could wear every day. So I have a Hydro Flask, and I feel like Hydro Flasks aren't really in anymore. Like now people are buying the Stanley cups, which I don't really know the hype, probably just because I didn't grow up with that brand or something. But I love Hydro Flask. I think I will be a Hydro Flask lover for life. So I have a 32 ounce that I've had since like 2017, 16, still in perfect condition. Has a couple dents because I won't lie, I dropped it while hiking, and what can you do? Life happens. But I really want this white one. It's a 24 ounce. I love that it's like skinny and tall, but still holds a good amount of water. And I don't know, it'll just be easier to carry because it has a little handle, but it also has a sippy straw. I just really want it. I think having new water bottles is like motivation for me to drink more water. Can you relate? I don't know. My boyfriend says I have too many water bottles already, but you know, you just have your favorites. Oh, another thing that I've really been considering purchasing for a long time, but I've never gotten myself to go out and make the purchase, is a GoPro. So I was recently looking at Amazon, and because of Cyber Monday right now, it's so much cheaper. Well, it's like 20% off, which is a pretty big deal for the GoPro Hero 11. And there's like a creator kit where it comes with a microphone and a little tripod, and it's just, it would just be perfect. I don't know, I really want to get one for when I go for runs. It's a lot easier to carry the little GoPro. It's so much tinier than even a phone, and also the quality is so much better because the stabilization on a GoPro is amazing. Plus, whenever I go for hikes, it would be nice to just be able to take cool shots and just keep it in my pocket and then whip it out. I have been considering buying a smaller compact camera for vlogging, like when I'm traveling or hiking or just doing things outdoors where I don't want to carry my Canon M50 camera that I use for vlogging. I usually just use my phone, but I want to have pretty good quality, and a GoPro has that wide angle and it doesn't lose quality like the iPhone. It definitely loses quality when you use the wide angle. I think it's time to invest. We shall see. Also, just knowing that I want to spend more time in Oregon in the future and going hiking and going to more waterfalls and stuff, I think it would be really helpful to have an action camera. So, and then some other things on my wish list are more YouTube oriented, so I won't bore you with that. Like I want a new external hard drive and just other things like that. Like again, I won't bore you with it, but if you're interested in any of my camera gear or the gear that I use for YouTube or anything like that, I always have all of that linked on my Amazon storefront, which will all be linked down below. So make sure to check that out. And yeah, hopefully you all found some inspiration for my list or enjoyed this reset. I enjoy doing these with you all every single month. I'm really excited for the new year. I'm excited to share with you all the spreadsheet and template that I'm working on and just all the things that are to come with the new year. There's just so much to look forward to, and I hope that you're as excited as I am. But with all that said, I hope that you all enjoyed today's reset video. If you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment down below. I respond to every single comment. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.